The Mongol Empire was the second largest empire in world history, with a territory spanning 33 million square kilometers. The Mongol Empire's domain covered 17.81% of the Earth's land area. But how did the Mongol Empire become so powerful? Let's explore this together. Mongolia is a harsh land, filled with vast steppes and mountains. The extreme climate made life there challenging. The Mongols lived as nomads, depending on their livestock, which they herded from one place to another. David Morgan, in The Mongols, describes how they had to continually move with the seasons, shaping their character to be resilient and adaptive. Mongolian society was organized into small tribal groups called clans. Each clan had a leader, and conflicts and competition among them were common. They lacked a centralized government, and each clan acted independently, creating a society filled with tension and rivalries, a culture of constant warfare. The Mongols practiced animism, worshipping nature spirits like the sky and mountains. They believed in the power of Tengri, the sky god, who was seen as a protector. This belief became their spiritual foundation, giving them courage and conviction in every battle. Temujin, later known as Genghis Khan, was born around 1162 into the w0rld clan. His father, Yasuge, was the leader of a small tribe, but Temujin lost his father to poisoning by enemies when he was still a child. Living in poverty with his mother, Holun, Temujin learned about hardship early on. His story is portrayed by Jack Weatherford in Genghis Khan and the Making of the Modern World as the beginning of a great leader's journey. Without his father's protection, Temujin's family became vulnerable and was attacked by other tribes. They were expelled from the clan, living alone and surviving off the land. Temujin, filled with a sense of revenge and determination, grew into a brave and clever young man, striving to overcome every obstacle. In his teenage years, Temujin began to gather his own followers. He developed strategies to reclaim his rights as a leader and to unite the Mongols. With his intelligence and charisma, he began building alliances that would help him achieve his ambitious goals. By the late 1180s, Temujin realized that only through unity could the Mongols survive external threats. He worked to unite the warring tribes, showing his strength and persuading them to join forces under a single banner. Many tribes were initially reluctant to unite, so Temujin faced battles against them. He proved his leadership on the battlefield, demonstrating toughness, discipline, and superior military strategy. Through these actions, he gained the respect and loyalty of various clans. 1206, a major turning point occurred when Temujin was proclaimed Genghis Khan, meaning supreme ruler. All tribes bowed to him, and from that moment on, he was determined to lead the Mongols to an unprecedented greatness. Genghis Khan created a unique military structure, organizing his troops into small units called arban, groups of 10 people. This system gave each unit flexibility and independence, allowing them to operate without direct orders from central command. This strategy is described by John Mann in Genghis Khan, Life, Death, and Resurrection. In 1211, Genghis Khan began an invasion of the Jin dynasty in northern China. His forces besieged major cities using innovative siege tactics. This victory not only expanded the empire but also greatly strengthened the Mongol military. After conquering northern China, the Mongol army continued its expansion, demonstrating remarkable speed and effectiveness. They quickly gained a reputation as an unmatched military power across Asia. In 1219, Genghis Khan sent envoys to trade with the Khwarezmian kingdom, but they were killed by the local ruler. This incident sparked Genghis Khan's fury, and he decided to invade Khwarezmia in retaliation. The Mongol army attacked Khwarezmian cities brutally, crushing local resistance. Using high mobility tactics, they conquered vast territories in a short period. Stephen R. Ward, in Immortal, describes this conquest as one of the greatest military operations of its time. Victory in Khwarezmia opened the door for the Mongols to dominate Central Asia, even extending into Persia. This greatly expanded the Mongol Empire and secured control over key trade routes. Animism and traditional beliefs. The Mongols' belief in animism influenced their daily lives. They respected nature and believed in the power of natural spirits. Their religious rituals were simple yet filled with spiritual meaning. Genghis Khan was highly tolerant of other religions. He allowed the people of conquered territories to continue practicing their beliefs. This tolerance became one of the reasons why Mongol rule was accepted across various regions. Women in Mongol society held a relatively high status. They managed family affairs and the economy while the men went to war. This reflected a social structure that was not entirely patriarchal. Genghis Khan died in 1227 during a campaign against Western Jia in China. Although there are many theories about the cause of his death, the exact details remain a mystery. Genghis Khan divided his empire among his children before his death. These areas later became 4 separate khanates, led by his descendants, with the hope of maintaining unity. The death of Genghis Khan created a significant challenge, but the Mongols he left behind had been trained to preserve the empire through the discipline and systems he had established. Kublai Khan inherits the empire. Kublai Khan, Genghis Khan's grandson, led the Mongol Empire with a more structured approach. He focused his rule in China and established the Yuan dynasty in 1271. The Mongols opened extensive trade with Europe and Asia. This brought together different cultures and accelerated the exchange of knowledge and technology. Kublai Khan introduced reforms in bureaucracy and law in China, creating a more stable and structured government. He worked to blend Mongol and Chinese cultures. Controlling such a vast territory without modern communication technology proved challenging for the Mongols. Their inability to oversee distant areas led to frequent rebellions. In 1368, the Yuan dynasty fell due to a rebellion led by Zhu Yuanzhang. With this, the Mongols lost control of China and returned to the Mongolian steppes. The Mongol Empire then broke into smaller independent khanates, leading to a gradual loss of power as a unified empire. The Mongols opened the Silk Road, facilitating the exchange of knowledge, technology, and art between East and West. This had a significant impact on Europe's development. The Mongols introduced various military and administrative strategies that are still respected today. Their postal system inspired the development of communication systems in different civilizations. Although their empire eventually fell, the Mongols are remembered as a formidable power that influenced the course of world history. Their impact endures in the historical records and the culture they left behind.